Hello, my name is Greg Claxton with the Metro Nashville Planning Department. I'm the project lead for Nashville's local redistricting process. In this video, I'm going to introduce the criteria the planning staff will use to draw new district lines. If you haven't watched it yet, we also have a video providing an introduction to the redistricting process. As a reminder, redistricting is the regular redrawing of district lines every 10 years. The Metro Nashville Charter assigns responsibility for redistricting Metro Council and the school board to the Planning Commission, which makes recommendations for new district lines to the Metro Council. Redistricting is based on overlapping local, state, and federal requirements, as well as traditional principles that are widely used in drawing district lines. The Metro Charter asks the Planning Commission to ensure that council and school board districts do not substantially underrepresent any part of the county. This happens because some parts of the county grow faster than other parts, leading to large differences in the number of residents in each district. We look to keep the population of each district within 5% of the average or ideal district size. This is called the deviation from ideal. The gap between the largest district and the smallest district should be within 10%. Based on our current unofficial estimates, that gap is currently about 60%. One thing to keep in mind is that population balance is necessary across all districts. This means that even if one particular current district population is within the appropriate range, changing boundaries in other parts of the county tends to ripple throughout the county, causing changes everywhere. Two factors that often go together are compactness and contiguity. Compactness refers to how even the shape of the district is. On the top part of the screen, you can see how different shapes score on one measure of compactness, called Polsby-Popper. On the left side, a circle gets the highest score of 1. As you move to the right, the shapes get more and more irregular, and the compactness score gets close to 0. The second factor is contiguity, which means do all parts of the district touch, or can you draw a boundary around the district without including any other districts? On a practical level, one way to think about contiguity is whether you can get to all parts of the district without leaving the district. So, a district that has a major divide, like the Cumberland River or an interstate, without any crossings within the district, isn't considered as contiguous as one that has crossings. The next factor is continuity with historical districts. This is sometimes called the preservation of district cores. Over the years, communities may develop a distinct identity associated with a particular district. We want to be mindful of that and not change districts without cause. On our website, we have tools that show you how council and school board districts have changed in past cycles. As you view them, look to see how some districts settle into place and some move quite a bit from cycle to cycle. Somewhat related, planning staff will also work to avoid putting two incumbents eligible to run again into the same district. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act requires that redistricting avoid diluting the ability of racial, ethnic, and language minority groups to elect the representatives of their choosing. Generally, this means that we are to support proportionality between the population and elected officials where feasible and warranted. That is, our district lines drawn in a way that protected groups are split up so that they are underrepresented on the council or school board. At the same time, redistricting should avoid using race as the only or predominant factor in where district lines are drawn. We take this to mean that we should comply with the Voting Rights Act through careful application of the other redistricting principles. Last, we are called upon to respect communities of interest. This is somewhat of a catch-all for other factors. Considerations here could include neighborhood associations, small but geographically concentrated ethnic groups, college students, etc. One special category is to keep satellite cities together so that district lines do not cross their boundaries. Additionally, the school board has asked that we consider cluster zones and the number of schools within each board district. Finally, we can also take public input into account, including how Nashvillians think about their districts and their communities. This is what we built our current interest in community survey around. If you haven't already, please take a moment to take our survey and tell us how you think about your community or communities. One thing to keep in mind is that no redistricting plan will meet all of these criteria equally. Generally, redistricting recognizes that these criteria must work together, but that doing so will always be somewhat imperfect. Therefore, planning staff will seek to draw districts in which each district is based on multiple factors. And that's the criteria that planning staff will use to draw district lines. I want to end by explaining the timeline and process, if you haven't heard them already. We launched our website and community survey at the end of July. If you haven't taken the survey or joined our email list, please do so. We expect to get census data in mid-August and will begin the redistricting process in earnest. We hope to have maps to review for the public to review by mid to late September. At that time, we hope to have community meetings where you can review the draft maps, make suggestions, and see how your suggestions would affect population totals. After that, we hope to have further map refinements through October and begin the adoption process in November. Thank you for your time today.